Hello and welcome back to another dual blade video, another build guide. This time we are going over heroics. If you're new to Monster Hunter, this is what heroics does. If your health drops below 35%, you get a buff, and a very significant one. In Wild's case, you get 30% bonus attack maxed out. Percent, not flat, percent. So it's a massive amount of bonus attack. It's such a massive amount that my usual elemental build, well, this one also has element, but this is more focused on attack. This is the difference in the full Blade Dance combo. So very significant difference damage-wise, and I'm sure a lot of speedrunners already know that this is the next step once they have perfected doing the bosses, because obviously if you're at 35% health the entire fight, you can't really get hit a whole lot, if at all. So this is my current setup for the active skills. It's actually not a very complicated build, although I have a second version later on as well. But first of all, we have attack boost, thunder attack in this case. Again, it depends on what weapon you have, but there's also some caveats to that. We'll get into it. Some handicraft, some sharpness, heroics maxed out, still constitution. The Gore Magala set is still insane in basically every scenario for dual blades. Burst level 3, this is also a point of discussion that could be changed potentially. Evade window, antivirus 3, weakness exploit for more crit, coalescence for a little bit more element damage also could be changed, and it will be in the second build. Marathon runner, flinch free, and obviously the full Gore Magala's tyranny set, which also comes with scale layering, by the way, which is a nice bonus because it lowers the amount of stamina you consume at a certain health threshold. If I go back to my health bar, on the top left you can see two little threshold markers. The one further to the right is the adrenaline one, so that lowers your stamina consumption, and the one slightly more to the left is heroics. I'll show you how it works. So the first thing we obviously need to know about how this build works is what equipment I'm wearing. This is my current weapon. This is just a thunder element as an example. You always want to have an elemental RT in a weapon, not a status effect one, simply because it's just flat damage that you're missing out on, because status effect doesn't actually do direct damage. So in this case, this is my crafts that I have. I went with 2 attack infusion, 1 affinity, although arguably probably going full attack is a better choice. Same with the reinforcement bonus. I also have 2 affinity procs, 2 attack procs, and 1 sharpness, although that one is kind of nice. Also, there's one thing about this weapon, as if we go to the decorations here. The first decoration that I have, bold / handicraft, well, it's a very nice decoration, obviously. But technically speaking, if you want to do even more damage, you should have critical boost 3, which I don't. So having a little bit more affinity, if you do have critical boost 3, is obviously quite useful. As of right now, this is what I have, right? So this is my setup at the moment. Still really good, and also it obviously depends on the monster's weaknesses and everything, but critical boost 3 is just an insane damage amplifier. If you have it, I would put it in here, and with that maybe get another sharpness bonus here and reinforcement instead of 1 affinity maybe, but being around 15 to 20% affinity on your weapon baseline is not bad if you're running critical boost. Then we also have the Ebony Odogaron helmet with 2 burst, because again, we're not only scaling attack, but also element, and this double dips, so it's nice. With also the Phoenix decoration, in this case for more elemental damage, but if your fight is relatively short, swapping out these 2 Phoenix gems with ambush will significantly increase the damage by a lot. Next build also goes a little bit more into that. Then we have another chain, so another burst level here. 2 potential jewels, in this case, again, to max out heroics, alongside the grit charm, which is also 3 heroics. So I have 5 just from that. And the rest is kind of self-explanatory. Tenderizer, again, we could swap this out for ambush for even more damage in the short term. Sprinter and Sane, just to max out antivirus and a little bit more stamina management. Let's figure out how we get to these insane numbers. First, we need to go below the 35% health threshold. There's many ways to do this. You could get hit. Corrupted Mantle is the most straightforward way, because it just drains your health until you hit something. Obviously, getting hit here will speed it up a little bit, But generally, this is how you will do it. Like, you just equip the Corrupted Mantle while you're walking to the monster, and, you know, that gives you that boost. Then, at 40%, we get Adrenaline, and now we also have Heroics. And then we pair that with our Dodge mode, and now we go Pump. So now we have the full damage amplifier, get the Archdemon set up, and now we want to cure the Frenzy on top of that, so to get even more damage. And then we can do the full damage output. So this would be it. Look at these damage numbers. Absolutely insane. And it's significantly higher than any of my other builds. And it's not even remotely close. But there's also a setup that does slightly more damage. And that is with my favorite skill, which unfortunately doesn't see much use at the moment because there's a lot of problems with it. And I'll get into that. Second build is with a Zhu Wu helmet, or however you pronounce that, because it has Adrenaline Rush 2 baseline and level 1 ambush already. But I picked Alpha here because ambush is really, really nice. We pair that with another ambush jewel here, so you basically have the same amount technically as the previous. Level 2 ambush. What that does, by the way, which is kind of crazy, it gives you 5% attack for 30 seconds after a sneak attack. That's why I'm saying, like, if the fight is a little bit shorter, ambush is insane amount of damage output in the beginning, the first 30 seconds of your fight. Now you pair that with Adrenaline Rush level 2, and you have another 15 attack basically the entire time. So what that does, Adrenaline Rush, is whenever you do a perfect dodge, which you want to do all the time, right? Because it gives you a massive attack boost just from the dual blade passive. You want to have this up permanently and gives you 15 attack while you have this buff going, which is an insane amount. That's why Adrenaline Rush pairs perfectly with dual blades. The only problem is it's really bad to get. I say that because all of the gear pieces that have Adrenaline Rush on it are quite bad. Simply because they're blue pieces, so they have very bad decoration slots. You can't really justify it over the Gormagala set because it gives a wade window, constitution, it gives you a lot of damage, it gives you a lot of sockets for your decorations. It's kind of hard to justify going for more than level 2 Adrenaline Rush, but just having that is already a big improvement. And obviously alongside Ambush, Adrenaline Rush, and Heroics, and level 5 attack boost, your attack goes to crazy levels, and the damage you can amplify even further with critical boost in the weapon, which I don't have, which we just talked about. Obviously, for normal playthroughs, it's not going to be super convenient to be at 35% health at all times, and setting everything up like that can be annoying, but for speedruns, I can see the Heroics once again coming through and being the strongest setup you could possibly run. Now, that being said, we will see if the speedrunners will agree with that. Also, if you have any suggestions to do even more damage, please let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.